Why keeping focus in my studies is not hard. So basically, what we're going to be doing, we're just going to be talking about what are the study strategies that I have been using, but for you, you can also use as well. So the first thing is studying is tough. Whether you are studying, getting a PhD, or someone starting high school, figuring out how to stay focused while studying is a challenge that we all face. Whether your biggest challenge is social media, procrastination, time management, or a combination of all three, I struggle with those distractions as well. I've got a variety of tools and techniques that can help minimize the stress of studying and keep you focused on what matters, right? And this is what we will be talking about. And if you, like most of us, this school year is presenting challenges we've never faced before. COVID-19 has come with so many challenges that we had never faced before. And therefore, like for learning remotely and losing the motivation and pressure that comes with in-person learning and contact has left many of us fighting off the internet like never before. So let's dig in. So the first thing that I'd like for us to talk about quite specifically is that you need to be able to choose a very, very good location. And location is very important. That is the starting point. So finding where you work best is an essential part of any successful study. For some, the quiet of a library is essential, but for others, the light bustle of outside can be just the right amount of background noise to stay focused. As for me, as a mathematics and psychology major, I generally prefer to be in a quiet setting when studying lots of theoretical work. And for practice in mathematics, I like playing music in the background. But whatever your background noise preference is, it's important that you study your study spot has few things, right? So firstly, your study spot has to have a flat, clear surface with enough space to comfortably hold all all those study materials, right? And then your outlets. If you are using a computer, outlets, if you need your computer to study, ensuring you have a close power supply can prevent the need to get up and break your flow, right? So comfortable, another thing is that you need to have a comfortable seating, right? Comfortable seating when selecting a place to work, it's important to try and pick a place that has the necessary furniture to promote good posture for prolonged, sustainable study. Whether you use a comfortable desk, chair with back support, an exercise ball or standing desk, sitting upright has been shown to increase energy levels and confidence, as well as enhance overall mood. In addition, sitting in a slouched position can make your brain more predisposed to feelings of hopelessness. So sitting up straight really helps in a sense that it will give you confidence to tackle your work effectively. So another thing that I do, I have a study ritual, and this study ritual basically has when it comes to staying focused while studying, it's important to create a routine to help you find your flow and focus, right? A good place to start is having a pre-study ritual that involves things like clearing your desk, closing your door, grabbing all the study materials you need, putting on some headphones, and creating a to-do list. Taking Taking 5 minutes to set up your workspace will not only physically prepare you to study, but also help train your brain to transition into a state of focus more effortlessly. With the space around you clear, space around you clear of distractions, your mind is free to focus on what is important, right? Try switching it up. Start your mornings with a walk or just going outside for some fresh air and a glass of water. Anything to help get your blood pumping and to let out any restless energy. Regardless of the activity, the key to do it every time you need to study so your brain can more easily transition into a focus mode. And this is something that I do quite regularly. I have the study ritual because for me, I wake up quite early in the mornings to start studying. And for that reason, when I wake up, I do feel a bit fuzzy. Therefore, what do? I do some exercises and um, just read up on a few things, and then I start studying. And those are the things that you should try. But do not open social media, because once you get onto social media, you will not stop. So that is actually the next part. So blocking websites and apps on your phone and tablet and computer is very important for the simple reason that once you open it, it will take a lot of your time. And this is something that I'd like to further talk about. If you like most of us, distracting websites and apps can be the death of any productive, focused studying session. You sit down to study before you even begin, you get a notification or headline which catches your eye. Seemingly small distractions like these steal minutes, then hours. On average, it takes 23 minutes to refocus on your work once interrupted. So therefore, it's very important that you either put your phone on flight mode, or you can even put it on silent mode and only allow emergency calls on your phone when you're studying. Because once you get distracted by these things, it will take a lot of your time, more than what you think it would have taken. So that's one of those things. And divide up the space out uh, study sessions, right? And space out. So divide up your studying and also space out your study sessions. And this is on the left hand side, you can see that there's actually my study timetable. So as you can see, I am only doing, since I'm doing my final year, I'm doing 3 modules right now. And these 3 modules is community psychology, real analysis, and discrete mathematics. And these particular modules are actually what I'm studying. So I actually study them for only 45 to 30 minutes per session, and then I have a break. And why is that? You'll actually see when studying for an exam, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information to learn. Most of the stress associated with studying is a result of poor planning and time management, and that leads to stressful cramming the night before. Therefore, it's very important to have a study timetable well in advance before you even have to write a test or an exam. Research has shown that dividing your studying into multiple spaced out sessions greatly improves your retention over time. It greatly improves your memory of what you've learned. So although cramming could work for the test the next day, the information is a lot more likely to be forgotten immediately after. It's also a lot easier to maintain focus for 30 minutes at a time rather than 8-hour cramming sessions. So that's why I also space my study sessions so that I get a break, but also at the same time, I can actually focus in between those 30 to 45 minutes, focus all my attention and be able to really understand my work. So focus on skills and not on grades. And this is something that I've seen myself when I was in high school, that I would tend to focus more on the grade and not focus on the skill itself and what I've been learning. And for instance, I remember when I was in grade 10, the first test that I had in physical sciences, I was very disappointed because I got 89% and I wanted at least a 90% in physical sciences. And that stressed me out very much. But I had not realized that I had actually learned skills that I carried over all the way to my grade 12. And that is where I started seeing that even though I got a mark that was just below than my goal, I was able to really understand those skills. And even in grade 12, I was able to apply them without having to go back to the grade 10 work and revising. So, an academic expert, Daniel Wong, says that one of the most common mistakes he sees students make is to focus on grades more than skills and learning. It's easy to get caught up in chasing a grade, but at the end of the day, the purpose of the education is about equipping students with skills and knowledge to contribute more effectively in the real world. And that is the important part about it. If you're doing mathematics, always think about what is the purpose of this in the real world, and how you use it. So remembering to focus on the learning rather than a grade can help reduce some of the dis, distracting stress and pressure surrounding studying. And that is the thing. When I was in grade 12, I had moved away from wanting to chase a higher grades, but I started wanting to just understand more and just learning for the enjoyment of learning and understanding of those skills. And I saw that in actual fact, whenever I was going to write any exam, I would be almost stressless. Okay, so that is something that you should try out for yourself. And the next thing, you should always schedule a downtime. As you saw in my study schedule, I have two very big breaks in between so that I can relax because I've studied some hours and so on, right? No matter how much you have to study, uh, it's important to that you schedule downtime in your study sessions. Self-control and mental energy are finite resources that will finally run out as the day goes on. And this is very important. Following a study timetable is difficult. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of saying to yourself that I cannot do this, I need to study. And that is self control and mental energy in realizing that no, I need to do this first before doing anything else. So they are saying here that in actual fact, when we talk about self control, you can only control yourself so much because there's so much going on in all our lives, right? And so it's important for you to balance the way you do things, right? It's important to schedule small breaks to check Facebook, look up a question that was off topic, or grab some coffee to prevent burnout. Keep you focused for longer. It will keep you focused for longer. Also, having a small reward to look forward to at the end of each session can help you stay motivated. When I was in primary high school, what I used to use as my reward, because I used to study quite a lot, I would actually say to myself, okay, around this particular time, I do nothing. I'm watching animation. I'm watching Naruto. I'm watching One Piece and all those things. And that was my reward. And I found that quite fruitful for myself. So, with all that said, you need to also be thinking about introspection. And what is introspection? Introspection, remember, is also knowing yourself. It's about thinking about yourself and looking at what you have done and what you have achieved and what you should do better, right? So, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. That was by Aristotle, right? And management thinker Peter Drucker is often quoted, you can manage what you can't manage what you can't measure. Essentially, he's saying you can't improve something without tracking and measuring its success. Taking 5 minutes at the end of every week, month, or year to review your habits, routines, and progress can help you spot patterns in your workflow and give you a chance to spot inefficiencies, adapt your habits, and optimize your workflow. Yeah, ultimately, there's no quick one size fits all solutions to staying focused while studying. Different methods and tools will work better for some than others. However, with a little trial and error and tools and techniques above, you can create a routine of focused studying that works best for you. So that is something that is very important, right? There's no quick and easy solution, and not all the things that I've said works for everyone. So in actual fact, you need to be willing to try things and change things as you go along. So you need to do introspection. It is a very important part of your of keeping your focus throughout the time. So the key takeaways are discipline is one of the most important things. Without discipline, you will not be able to follow through with these techniques and tools. Time management as well. Time management is one of the things that you need to be able to uh, um, implement in keeping yourself focused. And lastly, hard work. Hard work, hard work, hard work. There's nothing more to say.